Hey guys, so today we'll be going through two different deployment methods of the MX. There will be one which is routed mode and one which is pass-through mode. I hope you find this helpful. So this is the Addressing VLANs page. So you go to Security and SD-WAN and you click on Addressing VLANs, and here are your two modes. So you'd have a routed mode and a pass-through or VPN concentrator mode. So let's go ahead and talk about the differences between the two. So here I have a basic topology. So I have a client, I have an MX, and I have ISP router and the internet. So let's just talk about routed mode. So what will happen is with routed mode by default, you have the MX in routed mode when you order it. It will have multiple features, like it's a firewall, so it's a stateful firewall, so it will allow traffic to go out, but traffic coming in, you'd either have to use port forwarding or something like that to let traffic into your network, so it'll block everything externally. You could use it for reporting if you wanted to generate reports on what type of data is going through your network from your LAN. You'll be able to do this. You could use content filtering, so if you wanted to control the type of websites, for example, that your clients are able to go to. For example, you can stop them from going to gambling sites or social media or Reddit, which is known as maybe potentially risky sites for a work environment, so you could block them. Intrusion detection is also available on the MX, and client VPN. So these are features that the MX does, and in routed mode, we'll talk about how the packet travels through the MX. So you would have a client send a packet, a simple packet. The source is 10.0.0.1. The destination is 1.1.1.1, which is just Cloudflare, and it just wants to, let's say, I don't know, get a DNS record from Cloudflare. So it goes through the MX, but what happens is the MX processes it and it changes the source IP address. This is what is called network address translation. So in routed mode, that's the big difference, is the MX is using NAT. So it will NAT the packet and remember who sent that packet and have a binding table and all that stuff, but essentially it's just changing the source IP address of the packet as it processes the packet. So then it goes through the ISP router, and that's a NAT device as well. So that's all, of course, going to change the source IP address to its own, so 50.50.50.50. And then it goes to the internet. So that's the major difference with routed mode. Now, if we go to pass-through mode and enable that, so the pass-through mode has all the same features. So it will have a firewall, you'll be able to do reporting, content filter, intrusion detection, and client VPN. But the main difference is how the packet is processed through the MX. So let's say the packet again is source 10.0.0.1, the client. It goes to 1.1.1, the destination. Now the MX processes the packet, but this time it does not NAT the packet. It's literally, I always say it's like a layer 2 switch. The packet just passes through, the MX processes it with its features, and it does not NAT. It does not change the source IP address. And of course the ISP router will still be NAT in the packet, so it will change the source IP address to its own. In cases like why would you want to use this? It would be a case where you just had an MX and you wanted the cool features of the MX, but you didn't want it to be the main firewall. Let's say, I don't know, you had a Cisco firewall upstream already, and you really like that. We had a Palo Alto, so you just wanted an MX to do its functionality, and you liked the way dashboard reports and so on. That's why you would want to use pass-through mode. Let's go through and also explain the VPN concentration. So pass-through mode, so it says here pass-through or VPN concentration, and here it says, hey, like it could be used in a one-arm concentrator deployment. The security appliance acts as a termination point for Meraki auto VPN traffic to and from the remote sites. So what's happening is let's say you have New York. I'll just bring up my pencil to make it a bit more clear. So let's bring up, so this is New York, this is San Francisco, just gonna change the color, and this is all part of one organization. So here you would have one organization, whoops, and you'd have a data center, you've got New York and San Francisco, and they're 3 separate networks in the same org. So when you have MXs in the same org and they have VPN enabled, they automatically will create an auto VPN connection with one another. It's as simple as that, which is pretty good. So it's no setup, it's just they're all in the same org, and you activate VPN and auto VPN. It just works. It's one of the really good features of Cisco Meraki's MXs. So essentially what will happen is these clients here, although they're in 2 separate geographic locations, they'll be able to send traffic to one another. So this guy could speak to this guy and vice versa. So let's talk a bit about the concentration mode, because that's a bit confusing sometimes. So the San Francisco site, New York, and the data center. So this guy has an auto VPN connection with him. He has an auto VPN connection with him, and San Francisco and vice versa. The New York has an auto VPN connection. Here is a basic topology, so it's fine. Like, it's not too much overhead. But let's say you had multiple spoke sites and they all had an auto VPN connection with one another. So this guy had an auto VPN connection with this guy, and so on. And like, as you can see, like the tunnels are increasing quite a lot, and this would cause stuff like overhead. And like, why would you need this? You wouldn't want this. It's not quite that efficient. You can see it's just getting really messy. It's a big spider web. You don't need this. So let's leave that out. And what you would have instead is this guy doing all the VPN concentration work. So essentially it's kind of like this guy's the middleman. So if New York and San Francisco, you configure in the dashboard to use the data center as the main hub site of these 2, then what will happen is this guy's only job is to do VPN concentration. These MXs are there to do stuff like client VPN, content filtering, and simply just send traffic to the internet. You don't want these guys to be doing the routing of the auto VPN traffic. So when New York gets when a client sends a packet to, let's say, San Francisco, what New York would do is send it over to this MX, and this MX will like process it, go through whatever it has to go through, its routing table, and then it will shoot it over to the San Francisco site. And essentially that's pretty much the VPN concentration. So it's kind of a tip of the name. It's a concentration. So this is concentrated to only do VPN. You wouldn't have LAN devices connected behind this. You can like connect stuff behind the MX on the LAN ports, but it doesn't affect the performance of the MX. It's still going to do VPN concentration. There is one caveat with this. This site is here at the moment, this design is a single point of failure. So kind of if this MX goes down, then you're going to have a bit of issues with your auto VPN traffic. These guys won't be able to talk. What you can do is have another MX doing the VPN concentration as a secondary hub. So this will be in dashboard as configured as a secondary hub. So if this guy goes out, the traffic can go to here, and that would be a VPN concentration. So I think that's essentially the 2 topics, the 2 modes covered. So that's the difference between routed mode and pass-through mode. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you for watching.